It turns out that advancing equal opportunity and economic empowerment is both morally right and good economics, because discrimination, poverty and ignorance restrict growth, while investments in education, infrastructure and scientific and technological research increase it, creating more good jobs and new wealth for all of us. The Internet, like the steam engine, is a technological breakthrough that changed the world. Technological progress becomes even more exciting when it enters into the service of the social idea which demands that not only a small elite but humanity at large should profit by it. The partisanship surrounding space exploration and the retrenching of U.S. space policy are part of a more general trend, the decline of science in the United States. As its interest in science wanes, the country loses ground to the rest of the industrialized world in every measure of technological proficiency. If there is technological advance without social advance, there is, almost automatically, an increase in human misery. I know when I grew up, it was, if it was daylight outside, get outside. Well, now, with the technological age of computers and everything, everyone's inside virtually going everywhere they want to go, virtually having relationships, virtually traveling across the neighborhood, virtually going to that island. We presumably believe that most of the technological progress over the arc of humanity to date has been good. I don't see any argument to go back to 1600. Productivity and the growth of productivity must be the first economic consideration at all times, not the last. That is the source of technological innovation, jobs, and wealth. I believe that augmented reality will be the biggest technological revolution that happens in our lifetimes. Of course, technology is not an exogenous force over which humans have no control. We are not constrained by a binary choice between acceptance and rejection. Rather, the decisions we make every day as citizens, consumers, and investors guide technological progress. You can graph human evolution, which is mostly a straight line, but we do get better and change over time, and you can graph technological evolution, which is a line that's going straight up. They are going to intersect each other at some point, and that's happening now. Mars is key to humanity's future in space. It is the closest planet that has all the resources needed to support life and technological civilization. Its complexity uniquely demands the skills of human explorers, who will pave the way for human settlers. It's true that globalization, with all its fantastic improvements in the world and the technological progress linked to it, has increased inequality at country level, especially inside countries. And there are people that were left behind, people, sectors, regions, that has created a sense of frustration in the rust belts of the world. I am a technological activist. I have a political agenda. I am in favor of basic human rights, to free speech, to use any information and technology, to purchase and use recreational drugs, to enjoy and purchase so-called vices, to be free of intruders, and to privacy. We had some really powerful technology. Atari always was a technology-driven company, and we were very keen on keeping the technological edge on everything. There's a whole bunch of things that we innovated. We made the first computer that did stamps or sprites, we did screen mapping for the very first time, and a lot of stuff like that. Mass media provides the essential link between the individual and the demands of the technological society. Because of technological limits, there is a certain amount of food that we can produce per acre. If we were to have intensive greenhouse agriculture, we could have much higher production. Space exploration has taken a tremendous technological leap. India as a developing nation has been recognized globally for how it has economized its missions, which have been comparatively low cost compared with other countries. As the unity of the modern world becomes increasingly a technological rather than a social affair, the techniques of the arts provide the most valuable means of insight into the real direction of our own collective purposes. Unprecedented technological capabilities combined with unlimited human creativity have given us tremendous power to take on intractable problems like poverty, unemployment, disease, and environmental degradation. Our challenge is to translate this extraordinary potential into meaningful change. The most important thing in our war preparations is to teach all our people to hate U.S. imperialism. Otherwise, we will not be able to defeat the U.S. imperialists who boast of their technological superiority. We are the children of a technological age. We have found streamlined ways of doing much of our routine work. Printing is no longer the only way of reproducing books. Reading them, however, has not changed. I think environmentalists do no service to their cause by taking fundamentalist stances. I am not defending corporate India's track record, but for many environmental problems, there are technological solutions. I think we're heading towards a world of what I call technological socialism, where technology, not the government or the state, will begin to take care of us. Technology will provide our healthcare for free, the best education in the world, for free. The future of food security will depend on a combination of the ecological prudence of the past and the technological advances of today. With any advent in technology, any technological innovation, there is the good and the bad. The first reason for the preponderant influence of those evangelicals who define themselves as advocates of religious right theological and political ideologies is that they have both the financial means and technological know-how to make widespread use of modern electronic forms of communication. Our technological powers increase, but the side effects and potential hazards also escalate. A nation's ability to fight a modern war is as good as its technological ability. We are all living together on a single planet, which is threatened by our own actions. And if you don't have some kind of global cooperation, nationalism is just not on the right level to tackle the problems, whether it's climate change or whether it's technological disruption. We live in an age that is driven by information. Technological breakthroughs are changing the face of war and how we prepare for war. Changing professional expectations and technological tools have created an impossibility of balancing work and life. Deep down, the U.S., with its space, its technological refinement, its bluff good conscience, even in those spaces which it opens up for simulation, is the only remaining primitive society. Our lifetime may be the last that will be lived out in a technological society. Within 30 years, we will have the technological means to create superhuman intelligence. Technological considerations are of great importance to architecture and cities in the informational society. Technological society has succeeded in multiplying the opportunities for pleasure, but it has great difficulty in generating joy. We live in a time of astounding technological advancements. There are deep-sea drones and live-streaming virtual reality. I object to the hegemony of form in contemporary architecture. We have very advanced technological tools, but ultimately, we create buildings exactly like we used to before. We send the drawings to an engineer and let him struggle with figuring out how to build it. A whole bunch of big technological shocks occurred when Asian innovations, paper, gunpowder, the stirrup, the moldboard plow and so on, came to Europe via the Silk Road. You live in a deranged age, more deranged than usual, because in spite of great scientific and technological advances, man has not the faintest idea of who he is or what he is doing. No major technological change has ever been instituted by mankind without an array of negative consequences. The motor car has meant liberation for millions, but it has also caused congestion, environmental damage, and a disturbing death toll on the roads. All of the biggest technological inventions created by man, the airplane, the automobile, the computer, says little about his intelligence, but speaks volumes about his laziness. Cost overruns are not uncommon in architecture, particularly for designs that depart from structural or technological norms, or demand a finer quality of execution than commercial schemes, conditions typical of buildings for cultural institutions. Budgets are exceeded for many reasons, not all of them within an architect's control. Our life is half natural and half technological. Half and half is good. You cannot deny that high-tech is progress. We need it for jobs. Yet if you make only high-tech, you make war. So we must have a strong human element to keep modesty and natural life. We live in a world defined by the rapid pace of technological change. The Industrial Revolution in the new century is, in essence, a scientific and technological revolution, and breaking through the cutting edge is a shortcut to the building of an economic giant. Technological defeatism, a belief that, since a given technology is here to stay, there's nothing we can do about it other than get on with it and simply adjust our norms, is a persistent feature of social thought about technology. We'll come to pay for it very dearly. The conquest of space is not merely a technological project of interest to a handful of select scientists and specialists, valuable though that research and information may be. 1 in 10,000 of US can make a technological breakthrough capable of supporting all the rest. The youth of today are absolutely right in recognizing this nonsense of earning a wage. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.